session, we're going to be solving and graphing inequalities. It's important to remember that open dots on a number line are used for symbols such as less than or greater than. Closed dots on a number line are used for symbols such as greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, or equal to. So first we're going to graph the following on the number line. The first one says x is less than 2. Since it says it is not or equal to, there's not a line under that inequality. That means I'm going to go to the 2 and it's going to be an open circle. X is less than 2. That means I'm going to shade all those numbers that are less than 2 so that it would be correct. So I'm going to shade to the left. The next one says x is greater than -1. Again, there's no or equal to, so it's an open dot. You go to -1. And it's saying x is greater than, so that means I'm shading all the numbers that are greater than -1. So I'm shading to the right. X is less than or equal to 3. It's an or equal to, so I'm going to go to my 3, and it's going to be a solid dot. And it says less than, so that means any number that's less than 3. So I have to shade to the left to cover those numbers. And finally, I have x is greater than or equal to -2. So I'm going to go to -2. It's or equal to, so it's going to be a solid line, solid dot. It says greater than, so any of these numbers that are greater than -2 have to be filled in. So I'm going to draw my arrow to the right. Remember, if you ever multiply or divide by a negative, you must change the direction of the inequality sign. So for example, a is greater than would turn into a is less than, or a is greater than or equal to would turn into a is less than or equal to, and vice versa. So first we're going to solve this problem. I'm first going to draw my wall, because remember, whatever I do to one side, I have to do the other, and the wall reminds me of that. I have 5x minus 7 is less than or equal to 6x. So I have x's on both sides, so I need to get all of my x's on the right side. How do I move that 5x over to the right side of the wall? I have to do the inverse operation. Nothing is being done in front. There's a positive 5, so the inverse of positive is negative. So I'm going to subtract both sides by 5x. 5x minus 5x is 0, so you can just cross it out. Bring down your -7 is less than or equal to x. Now I'm going to graph that. Now, my number line down here at the bottom right doesn't have enough numbers, so I'm just going to sketch one. And I'm going to put -7, -6, -5. You don't have to have the 0 in the middle. You just need to make sure you have some numbers on each side. So -7, and it's or equal to, so that tells me it's going to be a solid dot. And it says -7 is less than or equal to x. So then that means it has to be less than. So that means x is greater than, so you're going to shade to the right because you have to get all those numbers that are greater than -7. Here's another one. I have 1 minus 3x is greater than or equal to -14. I have my wall. I need to get x all by itself, so I'm going to move that 1 over. So I'm going to subtract 1 because that's the inverse operation of addition. Bring down my -3x. You got to make sure you bring down that negative. -14 minus 1 is -15. Now I need to do the inverse operation multiplication, which is division. So -3 divided by -3 is 1. -15 divided by -3 is 5. But notice, I divide by a negative number, so that means I have to flip my sign. It's an or equals to, so I'm going to have a solid dot on the 5. And after flipping the sign, it says x is less than or equal to 5. So I'll shade to the left. One more problem. 5x plus 2 is greater than 7x minus 4. Same thing, I draw my wall, and you get all the x's on one side, all the constants on the other. So I'm going to choose to bring my x's to the right side. So there's nothing in front of the 5x. So I have to do the inverse operation, which is subtract 5x. Two is greater than 2x minus 4. Now I have to get that minus 4 over to the other side because remember I need to isolate the x. I need to get it all by itself. Inverse operation of a minus is a plus. So I'm going to add 4 to both sides. What you do to one side, you have to do to the other. Bring down my 2x on the right. Bring down my inequality sign. 2 plus 4 is 6. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 2. 3 is greater than x. Because remember, I don't have to flip the sign because I didn't add or multiply or divide by a negative number. It's going to be an open circle because it is, and I'm just going to get it up here. The open circle because it's not or equal to. So I'm going to go to the 3 and make it an open circle. And it's saying that 3 is greater than x. That means all those numbers less than x or less than 3 need to be shaded. I hope this helps you understand solving and graphing inequalities a little bit better.